Well, good morning. So oddly enough, one of my most watched videos is about how to size your shoes. I thought it was intuitive, but I guess a lot of people are getting into the sport now, and they don't understand why it is that long distance hikers choose the things they choose. And this is just about for overnight hiking 2 or 3 days or more. If you're going out on a day hike, it doesn't matter. You can wear whatever kind of sock you want because you're going to go back home and you're going to change socks anyway. This is if you have to wear socks day after day. So basically, there are two flavors of socks you can choose from for overnight hikes. One is the basic tube sock that we all grew up with, and one is a new guy on the block called the toe sock, which is very, very cute. So they can come either in synthetic or wool. I've got both. They say that synthetic wears better. I've not really seen a difference between the two. Wool seems to last really well too. The reason wool can work better is it's better at abating stinky feet. So wool just across the board, wool shirts, wool everything, does better with stink than synthetic socks. So that's the only choice there. I really can't even tell the difference between feeling synthetic and wool. They both feel the same on my feet. So to start off with your basic tube, because this is a darn tough sock. Now they make 20 different brands and 20 ways to wear them, but basically this is what I do personally, and this is what I've done. So the choices for darn tough socks are how thick you want this part here, the cushion. It ranges from thin to super thick. I tend to not like super thick, and the theory is why you don't want that on long hikes is that if it's too thick, your foot tends to move too much in the shoe because there's so much cushion. So you can go too much cushion, and it's counterintuitive that it would cause more blisters. Going too thin is also not great, at least for me. Some folks like it. I know some guys wear like your regular dress shoe synthetic nylon socks, and other than the nylon probably being really stinky, I don't think that would work for me too well, because then the shoe is just, and the sock is so slick that it just slides a lot inside the shoe. So not too thick for me, not too thin for me. I like them just right in the middle. How tall you want this part is just personal preference. They do make like a micro crew, which just goes right up above the just top of the shoe. It's kind of like what kind of tan line do you want, or if you have boots, of course, you'd wear a boot top. But for me, I have terrible tan lines because I always wear the same shorts, or I always wear shorts, and I always wear the same socks. So it's just part of the job. So with Angenjis, that's one of the brands of the toe socks. The reason why people would pick something like this is if you get blisters between your toes, these work real good to stop that. The reason is that if the toes are trying to rub together all day long in the shoe, there's going to be a blister. So these go in between there to give you a little bit of a space between your toes. So one variation of that the folks swear by is the Angenji Liner. So it's real thin, and the idea is, yeah, I like to have my toes separated, but then they put that underneath the tube sock. So this can work good for people who get heel blisters. The theory on that is that the two socks rub together, not the skin of your foot and the back of the shoe, so that the socks offload that friction. And a lot of folks swear by that. They swear, once I've gotten these two together, never had another blister. I don't do that because Angenjis, their one drawback is they're a pain to put on. They're a pain to take off. But once they're on there, it feels good. It feels natural after a bit. It feels weird at first because then it's like you got this stuff between your toes. But after a while, you don't even notice it. And another odd kind of variation on socks is called a waterproof sock. Why would you use that? Well, basically, if it's cold and wet out, it'll help keep your feet warmer. So my theory on this is that it comes from the scuba diving wetsuits, and that with wetsuits you have a wetsuit booty. With wetsuits, water can get inside the wetsuit, and it's cold at first, but then your body heat warms it up, and then you feel comfortable. So with waterproof socks, it doesn't mean that your feet are going to be dry, because even if there's no water that gets through the sock, they're known for being very sweaty inside. So if you have really sweaty feet, normally you're going to have really sweaty feet with waterproof socks. But the idea is that you have warm, sweaty feet, not cold water from just the outside wet feet. And they do work good. They don't dry well. You can imagine it takes a while. It's a real thick kind of a waterproof liner. But they do a great job for that 25 degree to 35, 40 degree wet days. So to recap, your choices are basically a tube or a toe. Why you choose either would kind of depend upon personal preference, of course, and where you're getting blisters, and if your blisters aren't resolved with just the basic Angenji and a regular tube might do it for you. I don't think I've never seen people wear both the liner and just the outer together. If you do that, leave a note below. That would be interesting to learn about. What I've done in the past is just bring one as a backup in case I get blisters on one part of my foot. I probably wouldn't get on both parts, and then just use that as my sunglass case and put that in the backpack. So those are my thoughts about socks. Too much time on my hands.